Islam, Islam. I'm sitting there like that. Those appellations look familiar. Islam. So this is question. I'm only going to repeat because I am on also Facebook platform. So I am going to repeat. This is a question and answer about Moorish American nationality platform that Light is spearheading, and I'm just making sure both platforms people can hear what we have to say. Islam family, peace and love.
Islam, and actually Sharon, Tracy, Gerald Bay, and Empress Damara, and I are actually all spearheading as a side.
Islam, yes, Amira. Where's your Facebook Live at? I don't have it. Where's it at?
Yeah.
We're going to get Amira on Facebook Live eventually. We just recently got Light.
Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Islam.
That's right. That's right.
Islam.
Amara, did you want to give them a little something in another one of our languages as well?
Oh, awesome, right?
Oh my goodness, you're putting me on the spot. Okay.
Light loves doing that, by the way. She does like putting people on spots, right?
Espero que vamos a en ese camino juntos, con mucho paz, con mucho amor y con mucho felicidad.
Islam. Now, what did you say?
We can barely hear you, Amara, because I can probably the part. Yeah. Got it? Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I said peace and love, family, happy that everyone's here, and that I'm hoping that we go on a journey together, peace, love, happiness, down the road in our
So family, just so that you all are aware, we are in fact turning back to the languages of our ancestors. We know that English is a junk language. It is not the language that our ancestors spoke, but it is the language that was used to subjugate us and enslave us. So we're going to be doing, moving back in the direction where languages are concerned.
Islam.
In the same direction that our, the languages, and our ancestors spoke many different languages actually, but the main two were Moorish, Latin, and Spanish, which the Prophet did say to learn Spanish as well. So, and I'm focusing more so on the Latin. Moor, did you want to introduce yourself a little bit too?
Y'all want to talk too much. This is question and answer. Seriously, we talk about question and answers. All these preliminaries.
Yeah.
Not to cut anybody's wisdom.
Yeah, about.
Go ahead, Moor.
Yeah.
I did. We got two platforms going on here. I'm just saying.
Bye-bye.
Islam. Islam. Peace and love to everyone, and thank you for attending. I'm just going to repeat because they are on the Facebook platform, and they might not hear everything that you guys are saying on this platform. So I'm going to repeat that for the Moors. Islam family.
Really?
Okay. I am going to, if there's some background noise in certain areas.
You gotta go out there.
So that everyone else.
I love you too, lovely me, Stanford. Lovely me, Stanfordelle. I love lovely me. Stanfordale. Do you have any questions? This is question and answers for Moorish American nationality. Do you have questions? So this is the perfect opportunity for Moors to put down questions that they have.
As well. Go ahead.
So, my family, we did kind of rush. We started with the process of learning this year, but an incident caused us to rush to get the work done, maybe with a little less understanding of the process of how we do it. So we did get it notarized with the notary.
Can you guys hear on this platform what she's asking?
I studied hearing that we shouldn't do it or we don't need to do that we just need to. So I guess I started heard that because I'm like, okay, well, does that make what I'm doing? But I did get that part back with our share and
can't hear very well, yes.
okay, so
No, be it below. Yes, it below. There's ask a question. Y'all ask a question. Do y'all have questions? Because I can't hear a word they're saying either. I inboxed you my question about my children. What was your inbox? Well, do you want to share on the platform?
So, first of all, your nationality is in your blood. So
you can't. No, we can't.
Any paperwork that is filed.
I told her to do it on this Facebook platform.
That's number one. And Moorish nationality is declared first in your heart, and then it manifests on paper as you so choose for it to manifest on paper.
Phoenix, that was a loaded question. Give me a second and I'll ask the question. I don't know if we can kind of do this both ways because we can't hear what she's saying.
When you do have emergencies come up, or if someone is kidnapped or something like that, you want to have something to take with you. With regard to the notary, it is better.
A question was asked. The question was asked about Notary Republic. And you guys asked the question, like does not like live. Yes, it's so annoying. I know. I'm trying to get her over here, you guys, so we ain't got to keep doing this Facebook and freeconferencecall.com, because I would be over there in the little box in the corner, or she would be in the box in the corner, and we'd be having this conversation together, and then y'all just put y'all questions in the feed. It makes a lot more sense to kind of do it that way, but you know, like I'm trying to baby steps to Facebook Live. So the question that was actually asked was, as long as it was explain consequences on our relatives not declaring nationality in the near future as it relates to corporate winding down. As it relates to corporate winding down is if you do not declare and proclaim your nationality and you remain a ward of this state, they're going to take everything from you. Why are they going to take everything from you? Because they need to be able to move the resources as well as the people. So right now, Moors that are declared as well as go upstairs, go upstairs, go upstairs. This is why I like doing stuff at the library. I don't have interruptions. But it's so important for our Moors to nationalize, proclaim, and declare their nationality because it's going to get worse. Now, you think that they're going to start kicking you out of homes, that you haven't secured through your nationality, taking property conveyances. The home is a part of that property taking. You being detained in these facilities unlawfully and you not being able to get out or being able to contact your family. Because guess what? What are they doing when they detain you? When they detain you, they want to put a bond on you. They want you to pay a bond, right? Or sign out through the bond. They want you to sign out that way. Why? Because they want you to put up your property as collateral. Because 9 times out of 10, that's why they give you the very, very high bonds, as well as because they want you to contract. The reasons why the bonds are set so high, they want you to contract, and it does not make any sense for you to do that. Hiring an attorney, bonding out, is contracting. Even though you're doing it on threat, duress, and coercion because that contract is not valid outside, right? when you get released from bonding out or submitting to the jurisdiction, you are in effect realigning yourself with them, especially if you're doing it under threat, duress, and coercion. If you're doing it under threat, duress, and coercion, what you absolutely positively should be doing is reserving your rights. Now, I'm hearing different broadcasts and different things that are saying that Moors are being forced to even write down the nom de guerre. They're being forced to do that. They're as opposed to putting on the record their nationality appellations, because we do not have names, because we are not corporations. We have appellations. So when I say what's your Moorish American appellation, you popularly and through miseducation think it's your name. It is your appellation, right? So these are ways that they snare you into traps. Therefore, when you normally bond, if the bond is too high, right? Say the bond's $35,000 so-called finance, right? The first thing you would do in order to even effectuate that bond is put something that you own up for collateral. People do houses, people do conveyances, and that is giving them an monetizable instrument, sort of like a promissory note that they're going to hold you to. So it's just like any other contract, unlawful as it may be, but if you sign those contracts and you submit by bonding or getting an attorney, you're giving them what they want, because an attorney is to turn you over to the jurisdiction of the court. So you are, in effect, when you contract with an attorney, which is only in corporations only, because they have no authority or no lawful standing in society. So it's just like going to Walmart, asking one of the individuals stocking the shelves, can you represent me in talking to your superiors? Don't make sense, do it? So let's see what the other question is. Yeah, I know. I'm trying, y'all. My babies always come out here and start messing with me. Do I have to send a passport-sized photo for both my babies when sending all my paperwork? Now, you don't have to go and pay fiat to get a passport photo, family. All of your phones can do exactly what they're doing, that you're paying $7.99. Now I think it's like $12.99 Federal Reserve notes for them to do it. All you got to do is get a white wall, or stand in front of a white wall and take a picture with your beautiful, very, very expensive Android phones, and that's what you send. You take a picture of your children, you take a picture of yourselves, because that goes with completing the record for Moorish American nationality. Islam? So when you sit here and complete your record of nationality, always think about it in the sense that I'm correcting my status in society. I'm realigning with my birthright and my heritage. And in order for that to be validated, you have to, what's the word I'm looking for? You have to show us what you look like, right? That completes the record. Because who are we not trying to nationalize? People who don't come from an Asiatic Stargate. Because if you do not come from a Moorish American, Aboriginal, Indigenous Stargate, you are not a Moorish American national. Descendancy comes through the mother, not the father. You said you tried to call in with that access number. If that access number to call into the free conference call, which I'm going to probably turn back on in a second, to see if we have some commonalities here, but it's difficult. So if y'all want to kind of move completely over to free conference call, we can do that, but it's not necessarily required. I was trying to bridge this system because I know I like Facebook Live. I like free conference call too, but I want to reach more Moors who can just jump on by just logging. on Facebook is quicker, it's easier, and I like the video quality a lot better anyway. But what's the next question? Let's see. Islam Akil. Islam. Can you explain what we do once we get the 2020 census etc? Do we send it back as David stating our nationality, or do we ignore it? Here's the question, and it relates to all questions in regards to filling out applications or documentations whatsoever. If they're not asking you specific information that's treating to your nationality and treating to your bloodline, they're not talking to you. And through knowledge, you will know that they're not talking to you. Because they won't ask you a specific question, right? So think about the 2020 census. If you get it in the mail, you read it, right? You read it, you find out why they're asking you. This thing and what different categories they have. Abdul Mosley Talib Bey did a very good documentation talking about how they have been committing genocide through what they're asking, and realizing that we as Moorish American nationals have been educated, miseducated through their institutions, and that's why we answer to these nom-de-guerres, these wardship names, subjecting ourselves and unlawfully and ignorantly contracting in a venue we have no place to be in. An attorney proclaim and declare their nationality, because it's going to get worse. Now you think
notarized with a notary, but I did get that part back.
Neither. I inboxed you my question about my children. What was your inbox? Well, do you want to share it on the platform?
So, first of all, your nationality is in your blood. So,
you can't. No, we can't.
Any paperwork that is filed.
I told her to do it on this Facebook platform.
That's number one. And Moorish nationality is declared first in your heart, and then it manifests on paper as you so choose for it to manifest on paper.
Phoenix, that was a loaded question. Give me a second and I'll ask the question. I don't know if we can kind of do this both ways, because we can't hear what she's saying.
When you do have emergencies come up, or if someone is kidnapped or something like that, you want to have something to take it. With regard to the notary, it is better
a question was asked. The question was asked about No to Republic. And you guys asked the question, like does not like live. Yes, it's so annoying. I know. I'm trying to get her over here, you guys, so we ain't got to keep doing this Facebook and freeconferencecall.com, because I would be over there in the little box in the corner, or she would be in the box in the corner, and we'd be having this conversation together, and then y'all just put y'all questions in the feed. It makes a lot more sense to kind of do it that way, but you know, like I'm trying to baby steps to Facebook Live. So the question that was actually asked was, as long as it was explain consequences on our relatives not declaring nationality in the near future as it relates to corporate winding down. As it relates to corporate winding down is if you do not declare and proclaim your nationality and you remain a ward of this state, they're going to take everything from you. Why are they going to take everything from you? Because they need to be able to move the resources as well as the people. So right now, Moors that are declared as well as go upstairs, go upstairs, go upstairs. This is why I like doing stuff at the library. I don't have interruptions. But it's so important for our Moors to nationalize, proclaim, and declare their nationality, because it's going to get worse. Now, you think that they're going to start kicking you out of homes, that you haven't secured through your nationality, taking property conveyances. The home is a part of that property taking. You being detained in these facilities unlawfully and you not being able to get out or being able to contact your family. Because guess what? What are they doing when they detain you? When they detain you, they want to put a bond on you. They want you to pay a bond, right? Or sign out through the bond. They want you to sign out that way. Why? Because they want you to put up your property as collateral. Because 9 times out of 10, that's why they give you the very, very high bonds, as well as because they want you to contract. The reasons why the bonds are set so high, they want you to contract, and it does not make any sense for you to do that. Hiring an attorney, bonding out, is contracting. Even though you're doing it on threat, duress, and coercion, because that contract is not valid outside, right? When you get released from bonding out or submitting to the jurisdiction, you are, in effect, realigning yourself with them, especially if you're doing it under threat, duress, and coercion. If you're doing it under threat, duress, and coercion, what you absolutely positively should be doing is reserving your rights. Now, I'm hearing different broadcasts and different things that are saying that Moors are being forced to even write down the nom de guerre. They're being forced to do that. They're as opposed to putting on the record their nationality appellations, because we do not have names, because we are not corporations. We have appellations. So when I say what's your Moorish American appellation, you popularly and through miseducation think it's your name. It is your appellation, right? So these are ways that they snare you into traps. Therefore, when you normally bond, if the bond is too high, right? Say the bond's $35,000 so-called finance, right? The first thing you would do in order to even effectuate that bond is put something that you own up for collateral. People do houses, people do conveyances, and that is giving them a monetizable instrument, sort of like a promissory note that they're going to hold you to. So it's just like any other contract, unlawful as it may be, but if you sign those contracts and you submit by bonding or getting an attorney, you're giving them what they want, because an attorney is to turn you over to the jurisdiction of the court. So you are, in effect, when you contract with an attorney, which is only in corporations only, because they have no authority or no lawful standing in society. So it's just like going to Walmart, asking one of the individuals stocking the shelves, can you represent me in talking to your superiors? Don't make sense, do it? So let's see what the other question is. Yeah, I know. I'm trying, y'all. My babies always come out here and start messing with me. Do I have to send a passport-sized photo for both my babies when sending all my paperwork? Now, you don't have to go and pay fiat to get a passport photo, family. All of your phones can do exactly what they're doing, that you're paying $7.99. Now I think it's like $12.99 Federal Reserve notes for them to do it. All you got to do is get a white wall, or stand in front of a white wall and take a picture with your beautiful, very, very expensive Android phones, and that's what you send. You take a picture of your children, you take a picture of yourselves, because that goes with completing the record for Moorish American nationality. Islam? Islam? So when you sit here and complete your record of nationality, always think about it in the sense that I'm correcting my status in society. I'm realigning with my birthright and my heritage. And in order for that to be validated, you have to, what's the word I'm looking for? You have to show us what you look like, right? That completes the record. Because who are we not trying to nationalize? People who don't come from an Asiatic Stargate. Because if you do not come from a Moorish American, Aboriginal, Indigenous Stargate, you are not a Moorish American national. Descendancy comes through the mother, not the father. You said you tried to call in with that access number. If that access number to call into the free conference call, which I'm going to probably turn back on in a second, to see if we have some commonalities here, but it's difficult. So if y'all want to kind of move completely over to free conference call, we can do that, but it's not necessarily required. I was trying to bridge this system because I know I like Facebook Live. I like free conference call too, but I want to reach more Moors who can just jump on by just logging on Facebook. It's quicker, it's easier, and I like the video quality a lot better anyway. But what's the next question? Let's see. Islam Akil. Islam. Can you explain what we do once we get the 2020 census ETC? Do we send it back as an affidavit stating our nationality, or do we ignore it? Here's the question, and it relates to all questions in regards to filling out applications or documentations whatsoever. If they're not asking you specific information that's treating to your nationality and treating to your bloodline, they're not talking to you. And through knowledge, you will know that they're not talking to you because they won't ask you a specific question, right? So think about the 2020 census. If you get it in the mail, you read it, right? You read it, you find out why they're asking you this specific thing and what different categories they have. Abdul Mosley Talib Bey did a very good documentation talking about how they have been committing genocide through what they're asking, and realizing that we as Moorish American nationals have been miseducated through their institutions, and that's why we answer to these nom-de-guerres, these wardship names, subjecting ourselves and unlawfully and ignorantly contracting in a venue we have no place to be in. Valise and Didi, be quiet, right? So if the document doesn't ask you about nationality, it's not talking to you. And if you want to correct their records because they should never have sent it to your mailing location, you attach a copy of your nationality documentations, a copy, your allodial national identification cards, and you send it back to them.
Because it's a flat wall.
Islam?
There's a hole right here, so yeah.
Can I put you live for a question? Type your question down, and I'll try to answer it.
You went through it. What? So you went through it. So what would you do?
Your appellation cannot be ran on a background check to verify your resume. Background checks are verifying your liquidity, your standing in regards to corporate business. So why would your Moorish appellation be able to be tracked in that system? You're trying to merge two systems. Your Moorish American appellation is your nationality. That nom de guerre is tracked in those background checks through that unlawful corporation, because that's not you. So when they if they try to run a background check, all they're trying to do is gain access to your straw man so they can tap into your estate. Islam. Many apps for photo pics. Okay, I don't know. Islam, thank you. Islam family. Mustafa. Okay, Mustafa, I did get your email. It was quite long, so it's going to take a minute for me to answer you. But the email was very, very long. What about those of us who haven't had a chance to declare our nationality utilizing the services of the Moorish American Consulate due to lack of funds at present, whom have recently been released? What? From unlawful constant confinement and placed on 15 years of federal probation. Your Moorish American nationality is your birthright. Like I tell everybody, your signature is your re-proclamation, rededication, repledge to your Moorish American nationality. That's specifically and matter-of-factly what it is. So it doesn't cost anything to do that. The documents are downloadable from the website, can be received through the email. The email I send status correction documentation as well as instructions is through Moorish American Consulate NE@gmail.com. But you can do this independent, family. The website, which is www.moorishamericanconsulate.org, has the downloadable forms for you to proclaim and declare your nationality. You do not need to provide any funds in doing that. Now, processing is a suggested fee, but we do not turn people away from recording or sealing their documents. If you paid, if you don't. In order for Prophet Noble Jew Ali said, I need finance to in order for us to rebring our government back up and stand it all the way up, we need finance. So we can't sit here and act like we can support our colonization, support our oppressors, but when it comes to team building and, let's say, group economics, now we don't have anything left for our nation because we give it all away to colonization. So we have to realize we have to wash each other's backs. We have to support each other. And like I say, you come to me, you will never be turned away. If you don't have any Federal Reserve notes, you're still not going to be turned away. So don't use the fact that you have no finance as a stumbling block, because you can go to any local library, log on to the website, download the documents at the library. You're probably going to pay 15 cents per page. Download those 6 pages and those 2, is it 6? No, it's 8 and 2. Sign them and then before you send them, and if you don't even necessarily have to send them if that's not something you can financially do, but like I said, we don't turn anybody away. So that is not some issue that you're going to have coming to the Moorish American Consulate. And if you've already proclaimed and declared your Moorish nationality, you absolutely do not have to repledge. You've already done it. Just send your PDF to the Moorish American Consulate for us to record it and give you a Moorish American record number.
It's going really fast.
Can you explain the difference between status correction and proclamation of status? Status correction is the same thing as nationality. You're correcting your status in society. At one point in society, outside of your nationality, your status was wardship, which is a pretty which is a pretty way to say you're a slave. In society, those who are not identified as through their bloodline and birthrights are wards, and wards are the enslaved, because what you are denying is your birthright, your nationality, in favor of a privilege which can be taken away from you. And what you know right now through all of the stories that you're hearing, it has been taken away from you. So status correction is you proclaiming and declaring your Moorish nationality, and that is correcting your status in society. Yeah, I know. I can't. She's gonna come over on this side eventually. How do we protect our children born of a European mother? I cannot stress this enough, family. The child is coming out of the stargate of the mother. That is her baby. Now, the problem is Europeans have forgotten they came here as indentured servants, which is a pretty name of calling them slaves. So they called themselves indentured servants, but they were the enslaved property of Great Britain. When they came here, they were slaves, subject to those black codes, which were called Noors, and it had different derivatives as to those names. Now, the way you protect your children, which are her children and are tied to her nationality, is subject status. The Moorish American Consulate is preliminarily going into that realm in terms of giving subject status, which is naturalization, into the Moorish nation, but there's certain requirements in doing that. What are some of the requirements? Actually, not violating supreme laws of the land, right? And realizing they can only be subjects in Morocco. They don't have birthrights because they come from the stargate of an Albion European, modern European woman. And also keep in mind, there's other things that I won't even go into talking about, but at the end of the day, if she chooses to, well, keep in mind she's an Albion. She is in a subject status. You are the noble, you are the Moor. All you can do is convey her into your trust, protect her that way. But she has no descendability, and neither do the children she created, because she is outside of status. Moorish American nationality. How do we quit claim of property? Are we doing video lives to verify signatures on documents? Due to me not being around, few Moors to witness. How do we quit claim of property? That's a loaded question. I'd have to find out where you are right now, where you're going. If you don't have any Moors locally, you need to start talking and having classes locally, because it is about our unity. It is about our numbers. It is about our unity. It is about our numbers. And I know a lot of Moors that are on this call are very new to Moorish nationality, so I won't even talk about that. You can claim it if you're already there, and it is your bloodline and your birthright. And the declaration of trust that you can utilize until you create your own private trust is the trust of the Moorish National Republic federal government, which is on the website and under document number MACN-R with 9 nines. That every Moor that domiciles in near Morocco, northwest of Maxim, is covered by that trust. You're already covered by a trust. Utilize that trust. Convey all your property in that trust, but do your trust. You have to be, I tell Moors all the time, complete your damn trust. Get it done. Don't make excuses. I don't want to hear concerns. Get it done. We've done the groundwork for you guys, for you Moors family. The templates are available, the declaration, the trust, as well as the cover letter. All you got to do is sit your asses down and get it done. When you say, can you address the vast express trust, you have to qualify that question. You have to qualify that question you have. I'm not overstanding that question, Akil. Now, you said, what if your job wants you to file a petition to recognize your name, it's an Appalachian family, after you proclaimed or declared your nationality? Now, you said, what if your JOB wants you to sign a petition? Keep this in mind. They're corporate. You are a national. They're under the wardship nom de guerre. You are in your personal, your nationality. When you proclaim it to them, when you profess it to them, it's already on the record. When you speak it, put it in writing. Say your declaration like right now. I am Sharon Tracy Gale Bay, Moorish American National. I am Aboriginal, indigenous to Morocco, Northwest of Maxim. That is all the declaring you are required to do. Everything else is to support that declaration. Everything else is to support it. And there be a trail and you giving everybody else due process. So when you went to your JOB and you proclaimed and declared your Moorish nationality, that was all you had to do. They do not have to recognize it, but knowing this, they've made oaths to act like they don't know what you're talking about. And the Constitution, I keep telling people, the Constitution is your beacon light. The Constitution is your beacon light, as well as the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, as well as the Article of Confederations, as well as the Declaration of Independence. I'm not telling you to read this for my own good. It's for your good. You have to read these documents, because they are all you need. So when they say that they're not going to recognize you, Article 1, Bill of Rights, Amendment 1, Bill of Rights says you have the right to align yourself with however you deem fit. Nobody can, you don't need anybody to recognize it, but they cannot violate your rights. If they violate your rights, they create a claim that you can effectuate. So if you have a little bit more information as to the question, ask it a little bit better than that. Baby, be quiet. I want to buy a home, but mortgage requirements are 2-year employment history. Who's this? Day. Now let me tell you, Day. You got Day L Reversioner. You have Day L Reversioner. Do you know the title Day prescribes to you? Day is not self-appointed. Certain degrees of knowledge have to already be within you for you to claim DEY. Just know that. You don't buy anything. You can't buy it because your heritage cannot be bought, sold, or transferred. What you are doing is acquiring something that is already yours. You're claiming something no one has claimed yet, right? Going to get a mortgage is what's your problem. That's corporate, that's wardship status, that is not de jure. You are not required to go through that process to acquire land on your land. You are required to know the law. You are required to find out who is so-called claiming ownership of the properties. 9 times out of 10, 90% of the so-called fixtures are being unlawfully claimed by corporations. That is unlawful. That doesn't exist, has no standing in law, and you need to put due process in. There's a process for acquiring land, but mortgage is putting you in an adhesive contract, which is unlawful. And as a Moorish American national, you are not supposed to be doing that. You can call yourself Moorish. You can call yourself Moor. It absolutely means nothing different. One means that you have a little bloodline. It's the same thing, family. I have those docs, as well as docs to send to sheriff, county, recorder, and attorney. Oh, it shall be done, my sister, and I shall form Okay, Islam family. Islam Raymond. Why am I? Okay. Yeah, we do. I want to go back over today. I want to go back over the free conference call. So let's see what they're doing. Yeah, we have two different platforms because I thought they could be merged because I really think that we limit ourselves with free conference call. So let's see what they're talking about. Islam family. Islam?
And then let the ancestors tell you how to proceed from there, whether you should press or not for the no tax status, because at the end of the day, they're still a corporation, and they're still have.
Now, when you say get certified copies of the Constitution, the Constitution is on the public forum. You can go to the congressional records. They're right there. Just speak to the source document, the reference number from the congressional records where it comes from. And that was the first, I think it was the first Continental Congress. It's already there. You don't necessarily need a certified copy of the Constitution. But if you feel like that's something you want to get, why not? Were you getting certified from the Library of Congress? Okay. Islam sister, are us Moors allowed to use the Moorish American Consulate seal when creating birth certificates? When you create your birth record from when you have your child, that is private to you. You're creating it, in the creations, we actually have templates for natal birth records. So when you have your child, you're recording it with your nation versus the so-called Social Security and the so-called birth certificate through so-called vital statistics. So the seal, you mean the Great Seal is everybody's seal. Everybody can download or purchase the embosser for the Great Seal, which is the gold pyramids. Now the Moorish American Consulate seal, we would be stamping that with that particular seal based on you recording it with the Moorish American Consulate, the record of your child's birth. And those eventually will be available on the website, but we do have those available for email requests. No, I have not spoken on plates yet. Prophet Noble Jew Ali said we shouldn't throw away the names. We'll be able to use those names to condemn them. That's what he said. Now, your appellation is unique for you. You can pick what you want. It is totally up to you and what it is that you want to pick. So if your spirit has led you to do a specific thing, do that thing. He just said don't throw it away. He didn't say you couldn't change it. He just said don't throw it away, meaning don't forget about it. You're going to use those names to condemn the service corporation. The site you go to get the Great Seal is there is Stampmaker. Is it stampmaker.com? I think it's stampmaker.com. The embosser, you can get it through stampmaker.com. What are y'all eating?
I don't know. What's my teeth?
And that's true. You don't have to keep your Nam de Gear. Keep this in mind. The Nam de Gear is the war chip name, and that is just the name your mother gave you, hypothecated as a war name by putting it in all caps.
Don't do that, Didi.
Y'all ain't got that many questions. Let's go check out what's going on this feed. They're so low, I can't hear them. Now, somebody made a comment about nationality. I'm sorry, about plates. Plates will be available shortly. I am going to start taking orders for those coming within the week.
At the end of the day.
Now, always realize, stampmaker.com, yes, stampmaker.com.
Our readings land, but they're not all the way gone yet, right? Because we keep
So, look, I'm trying to do 2 platforms. This is not working. I would love to hear what they're talking about. What were we talking about? We were talking about something. I forgot. I lost my train of thought, family. Oh, it was the plates. Family members, there's 3 things that you have to do first. How do you obtain car insurance once plates are obtained? Car insurance. What do you think you insure with car insurance? And can you really... that's a loaded question. Because the reality is there's steps that you have to take ahead of that. If you want to contract with the service corporation in order to get insurance, some people do that. That's definitely your right. But your idea, what you want to ultimately do is get your trust and operate through Islam, Tariq, through your trust. That's what you want to operate through. All your property is to be conveyed into trust. It's very difficult to express and to talk about how to navigate when a lot of our family members have wardship status in their head. We have wardship status and all corporate business in our head, and there's nothing else there. So when you sit here and talk about getting insurance, you are the wealthiest people on the planet. You are self-insurable. You are self-insurable. And I'm not going to be able in this platform on this quick conversation to tell you about that. But what you need to do first before you move anything, nationality, national identification cards, your private allodial trust. And then you have to gain just a little bit of knowledge so you don't get snared right back into the trap to put you back in colonization. Islam? The template is not on the website. I'll email it to you, Ashe, if you send me the email. I'll email you the template for the birth, what is it called? What do they call birth record? For the birth record of your child. I'll send it to you. Just send me an email. What happened when you went to the live feed? I want to go over there too, but everybody keeps coming over here. I do want to get over to that platform, but you know, but I do want it to be viewable and usable through different venues and accessible. So if you are trying Phoenix, Mike Gael, just go to Light's page and find the information on her page and then just link in that one. Let's talk about notary. What's a notary? What was the purpose of them even establishing notaries? I know, right? What is the purpose of notaries and why were they established? Because a notary is somebody who's confirming who you are. All a notary is doing is saying, I talked to this person and this person filled out this document. That is corporate. When you declare and proclaim your nationality, you no longer need somebody that is in the nom de guerre, in a ward, to notarize something for you. All you need is 2, and the more the merrier, Moorish American nationals to witness your lawful documents. That's all you need. But they all have to be in their proper person. Exactly, Phoenix. That was correct. Car insurance only for commerce drivers with licenses. Yep, that's the only requirement. No allodio concepts. Okay, I don't know what you're saying. Islam, Anthony. If you can go to the website to order your nationality cards on the Moorish American Consulate website. Under the service tab, the only thing that is a prerequisite is that your status correction has been recorded with the Moorish American Consulate, and that is through the MAC number. But you can go and order your national identification card from www.moorishamericanconsulate.org. Yeah, 3 signatures definitely will be okay. There's at least 2. I know, I want to hear you both too. Y'all want to go over to free conference call and see how things are cracking lacking? You can't hear it. They talk too low on this platform. Let's see if y'all can hear it.
Where nationality is concerned.
Can't hear it.
Okay, everyone is unmuted. If you have a lot of noise in your background, go ahead and mute yourself again so that the other people can hear.
I want to hear us both too, because
Okay.
I don't want to talk the whole time.
Go ahead with your question.
I didn't say put your email address in there, Ashe. I said send me an email address to request it, and I will email it to you.
All of it is a violation. Anytime they tell you that they have to tax you and all that, the IRS even has a code that
Yeah,
says
Phoenix,
that
send me an email. I'll send it to you.
The Social Security Corporation has a code that says it's voluntary. I presented that, and they did not want to honor it.
All right, what else? Oh, Kimberly. Hey, Kimberly. What's up, Kimberly? How you doing? How you doing? Oh, goodness. Let's see what else is. Phoenix, I keep telling y'all, I'll be putting no emails in here. Y'all better go send me an email to Moorish American Consulate, ne@gmail.com. Moorish American Consulate, ne@gmail.com. In your email, put your appellation so I know who I'm talking to, and then ask what you're asking for, and it will be replied to you. Oh, can you hear her? You can hear her? Well, shucks, let me tell you. Are you on both platforms? Are you on both platforms to hear Light Tajiri Bay? There's a lot of people on that call, too. All right. Islam, Kimberly. My back hurt, y'all. How you doing? Ain't nobody got no questions. Y'all ready to go on free conference call and check out free conference call? She posted it on Facebook. We can go over there. Islam sister, send an email now. Ashe Islam. Because I can hear you. I can hear her too. How you can hear her? Oh, you on 2 different platforms, Kimberly? I know. I told her we should have did it on Facebook Live. It's so much easier to do it on Facebook Live, and you get more people to come on. Are you holding up, sister? Are you holding up, sister? I know you're doing a lot of work. Yeah, I'm doing a lot. You want to see all the work I gotta do? I ain't even get started because Light said, "Oh, we're gonna do a question and answer today." I'm like, I think we should do it on both platforms. Look, I got all this in the mail, and I got like another 7 or 3, I think, in my bag. So yes, I have so many things that I can be doing in terms of nationalizing Moors, right? And I just got a lot of work. Actually, I hear her on here, but I'm going to free conference call. Okay, can everybody else do so we can get off this platform and go over there and I can kind of sink in with that back to there? Because I want to end this, and I want to go to free conference call. Are we okay with doing that? Let me see if Light will tell us what the free conference call information is, because I would rather be on the same page. Islam, we don't need volunteers. We need Moors to rep their nation. We need Moors to rep their nation. Really? This is why I do my lives at the freaking library. So I have my nationality, but I would like my children to get theirs through you. So can it be recorded? Heck yeah. Yup. And the nationality of your children is the same as the nationality of you. Just complete the same paperwork and have them sign if they can sign on their own. But if they can't sign on their own, the mother signs where they would sign, and just puts the child's fingerprint on it. Okay? The child's fingerprint. So the same paperwork it still didn't work. I'm gonna try. I don't know how to try. Alright. Let's see. I don't know, Light be putting the wrong bad information up. Let me see. Don't tell her I said that. Let me find out. I'm gonna find out from Light. Islam? I can't hear nothing.
Okay. Okay, well, if it's not too inconvenient for you, it's been since 2011. Go ahead and fill out an education and proclamation. So we'll get your fresh new documents and everything.
I'm gonna find out because we all moving over. We all moving over to free conference call because we can't do two platforms. Because when I'm talking to y'all, I don't know what the hell going on free conference call. I have no idea what's going on. So let me find out if I can get her ass to talk. Islam family, can I interject?
Yes.
This two platform thing has got to end, but many Moors on the Facebook platform can't get into the free conference call platform. So can somebody text in this message board the link to the free conference call so I can give it to everyone? Because we on both platforms and I feel like Sybil.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Amara. Thank you.
Thank you.
Question.
Yes.
This is my question. I have filled my paperwork out. I've got my MAC number, but I haven't got my paperwork back yet.
Turn it off for a second.
You haven't got the paperwork back yet?
Yeah, I got my MAC number, but I haven't yet got my paperwork back at all.
What's your appellation?
Okay.
Melvin Lee Lopry L.
Melvin what?
Melvin Lee Lopry L.
Well, you know, I made previous recordings talking about the post office, right?
Right.
Alright, so I made previous recordings talking about the post office because one more stuff just came to me and he sent it like 3 weeks ago, over 3 weeks ago. So one of the things, did you get the email with your documents as well as your recording MAC number? Was it both?
No, I haven't.
It was one document, right?
I have yet. When I did, you gave me your MAC number. I got the MAC number. And I have not yet got the paperwork back. I've not yet got the email from them.
Alright, we're going to find out. What's your appellation again?
Melvin Lee Lopry.
Alright, let me get to it, Melvin. Oh, so you, Melvin L. Lothery, the second L. Right?
Yes. Okay. So Sharon has your paperwork and she'll get that.
Wait a minute, let's find out if I have an email address on him so I can send it to him right now.
Okay. The email will be after.
Wait a minute, I'm checking the record. Give me a second. It's Melvin, okay, I got it. It's coming over right now to you. Use those documents to send to the 7 locations until the originals come in the mail.
Which email did you send it to? The application?
The Gmail is Melvin Lee Lothery Jr. L. And that is melvinlothery@gmail.com.
Right.
Is that correct?
Right now. Yep.
Is that correct? It's coming over to you now.
Yep.
I yield.
Okay. Sharon, are there any questions on Facebook as well?
I done answered like 1,000 questions, man.
Or that you want to do?
No, not really. I kind of handled those. Wait a minute. There's one.
Okay.
It's hard to bleed them too, but I want them to come into this one so I'll, because doing both of them, they can't really hear y'all talking.
Okay.
So the access code on Facebook Live viewers is 591071. 591071.
Okay,
In the web, it's so difficult because that's the access code through the phone number. But the access code, if you download free conference call, is Light Moorish Nation. It's Light Moorish Nation. Say it again.
Light Bay Moorish Nation.
Light Bay Moorish Nation. And based on, did you copy all this information into the link on Facebook? Because I'll just put it in Facebook real quick.
Yeah, it's in the notes. Tamara posted it in the notes.
Okay, I'm going to post it to the link on Facebook, so hopefully, they can get it.
With regard to the consulate commissioning letters, anytime, okay, there is training that needs to be taken, but anytime you are demonstrating, for example, if you need to get someone extracted from the jails and the prisons, then we go ahead and give you the consul commissioning letter so that you're covered by the Vienna Convention on Consular Relations and the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations. And that way, you can safely operate in those venues with international coverage.
Islam.
That's with regard to the commissioning letters. And that's a question that came in the chat. There's a couple of other questions in the chat, and I'll with regard to the stamps and seals, again, stampmaker.com is where we get our seals from. And if you tell them that we have the artwork for the Moorish National Republic federal government and Moorish American, the Moorish Divine and National Movement. Every Moor should have those stamps and seals. Every single one of you should have those stamps and seals. And stampmaker.com has been getting them to us pretty fast. So go ahead and order them from them. They are not valid until you have declared your nationality.
I know that's right.
Okay? So don't be trying to use them as a nom de guerre. Go ahead.
So you said that you have the artwork for that. When we order it from Maker, do they have it well, or do you send it to us?
I can send it to you.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Islam Light.
You can send me an email and say send the artwork and have it titled send artwork for stamp, and I'll just forward it to you.
Okay.
Okay. Islam
Light. I had an issue with the stamp maker. They said that the pixel definition wasn't good enough, and they asked me if I can get another copy and send it in to them.
Tell them to go ahead and make it. Go ahead and make it with what you've given them, because that's the same thing they told me initially, and I said, well, go ahead and just do your best and make it, and it turned out fine.
Beautiful, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And there was another question. As soon as you all can get those stamps, please get them, the stamps and the seals. And then the consul commissioning letter is just a letter that says that you are a Moorish American national and you are presenting your own government in order to get your loved ones out. Okay?
So I did add the phone number in. I did just put the information into into my Facebook Live, and I do want to come down. I don't know if you guys can hear what she's saying, but I do want to come off this platform if you guys can't hear, because I don't want to kind of do two things at one time. So I'm going to put you closer to see if you can hear. So let me try to do this and see if she can hear you, and then I have to refer the questions to the group. So let's see how this works. I'm going to put it closer to my computer.
Okay. There's something in the chat about a W-8 bin form that can help you not pay taxes. Please don't do that. Don't do that. Please don't. We don't fill out. It doesn't. Please don't do that. And here's why. We do not fill out any of their forms, no matter what it is. Okay? When we want them to do something, we give them an affidavit with our and sigils at the top, our flags on it, from our government, and telling them what they are to do so that they don't violate. Then you fill out their form. You're essentially submitting to their jurisdiction. Okay? You don't want to do that. What they are to do so that they don't violate it. Okay.
There's backlog coming in.
Okay, so what if I have a trust set up under S4 form and my designated in? Should I revoke it?
You should.
Cool.
Because
the tax treaty that's in place
well, think about this. We have a treaty. It's the longest standing treaty on record for the
Can y'all hear her?
It doesn't say anything.
Can you hear her? Did she just
text? Period. So if you're adhering to a tax treaty, that treaty may not even be valid any longer.
Can y'all hear her? I'm gonna keep asking this question and nobody answering.
Here's the real truth about that. All of those other treaties that came after ours are no longer valid. Why? Because they breached those too. Here's the real truth about that. So those don't apply. All of those other treaties, they don't. So we have to go all the way back to using our own treaty. Because it's the only one that's valid at North America. Go ahead.
They were not supposed to be entering in any other treaties other than the one that was the Treaty of Peace and Friendship. So they're all invalid for that reason too.
Islam plus Islam. All I wanted to say is to Melvin, his email should be in his email. I like your. Oh, she's back on camera. How you doing?
It hadn't got in there yet.
I just sent it.
Okay, cool.
Give it 5 seconds.
Okay. All right. Where's the pictures?
Yes, those other treaties were. This is how the service corporation did everything that they did. This is the fraud that they did. All they did was assign some people to Britain that were European and part of their little plan. They assigned some people to France. Now, again, they replaced all indigenous governments with corporations. And they assigned somebody to France, assigned somebody to Britain, and they assigned somebody to the United States, too. 3 people got together and did a treaty and said, oh, this treaty is for France, this treaty is for Britain, this treaty is for the United States. So y'all have to do what these treaties say. Without any word from us about any of that. Period. And then whenever they wanted to start a war, they would say, hey, Britain, start a war. And we'll act like we're fighting one another so we can get the indigenous people's resources. Because they'll sign over resources if there's a war going on. And if we scare them into telling them, well, Britain's going to fight a war, you know, that kind of thing. So, and Sonja, yes, you can get a consulate commissioning letter. You can get one.
I have a question.
Yes.
You talked about putting our families into our trust until we come up. How do we, like I'm Canaan, how do you do that? By authenticating their birth certificate and then putting a lien on them?
You don't have to put a lien on them. You do the trust document, and there's going to be a place on the trust document where you can list things like your conveyance, your domicile, any furniture, anything that is your property, you can put it in your trust.
Yeah.
And where those people are concerned, you just put their name right under the couch and the domicile and the conveyance and all of that. You just put their names in that same place because they're property until they declare otherwise.
Oh, and I can put my friends or loved ones there too? His family?
Friends, loved ones, anyone. And their names go in your trust, not in all caps.
In proper English.
All capital letters. Yes.
Okay.
I have a question.
Talking about the trust indenture. I'm putting their names under the conveyance in the trust indenture.
Yes.
I have a question. Moor on the Facebook feed is asking a specific question, and they can hear you now, so that's great, because I did put the information out there for them to move back over, so hopefully people will migrate over to free conference call, and we don't have to do two platforms.
Okay.
Where can I find more information on the subject status through naturalization of the Moorish American Consulate? This was a question earlier today where a Moorish son has joined with an Albion woman and created children, and he has questions in regards to that. And I did give some highlights as to subject naturalization process that's coming out, but it's not absolutely finished at the moment, as well as they can convey them as subjects within their trust documents. If you want to speak about that a little bit, that'd be great. For Noble Farrell
you can go ahead and speak about it.
No, don't be putting me on there. No, you do it. It was just a question about the documents. Like the documents, we have a document that we are drafting for subjects, more subjects. It's kind of like a repledging, because the same way they disintegrated their union would probably be the same way they kind of repatriate back into the Moorish Empire. And it is those 4 lawful documents, which is the Declaration of Independence, the Articles of Confederation, the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, as well as the Constitution for the United States of America. It's realigning themselves with the government and kind of expatriating from the Nam de Gear and the Service Corporation. And that means a lot. And they have to do a lot, which is to not violate the Moors, not violate and give back the things that they've taken. So it's a loaded question, because realize that her family members, whoever this Albion woman is, are the same individuals who are working in the counties and all of the different boroughs violating your family members. So that's a loaded question. So we are drafting the subject naturalization process, which is called, what did we call it? I forgot what we called it, but it's more subject. What was it called?
More subject naturalization.
Yeah, more subject naturalization. But we have to really bring that to the judiciary and fine tune that, because it is a lot we have to require of them to get that done.
Yes, they do have to pledge allegiance to that flag, to our flag. They do have to give Moors priority. Okay, let me see who that is. Sound like somebody saying go get your tablet. Okay. They do have to pledge allegiance to the flag. They have to know that they are a subject and behave as a subject would here in North America. If you're waiting in line and a Moor walks in, if the subject is waiting in line and a Moor walks in, the Moor has priority. And that's just the way it has to be, because that's the way it was designed to be. And more about that will come out as we look further back in our history. Yes, pure blood does come first. And so those who have consorts that are not Moor, they're not from the Moorish mother, they didn't have a Moorish mother, they are going to have to be subject here at North America. Plain and simple. And they can be, we are developing a process for that, but they have to know going in what their status is, so that there are no mistakes about, titles of nobility and wearing fezes and telling people what to do and going into these courts, you know, presenting themselves a certain way. You can't do any of that as a subject. As a subject, you're a subject, and that's actually a pretty cool status because that means you're hooked up with someone who's nobility. So, you know, it just has to be that way. And it's not, you know, we're not being prejudiced, per se, quote unquote prejudiced, but the bloodline is the bloodline is the bloodline. Period.
Everybody keeps talking about they can't get through. They bounce off of the Facebook Live and then they bounce back on, so that means they probably couldn't get through. And Noble Farrell L, who asked that question, just said, I understand. So he said, I understand. And everyone's asking about plates. Moorish nationality plates. Those are the questions.
I'll wait.
You'll wait for what?
On the plate.
You'll wait for some plates.
I'll wait on the plate explanation.
Oh, you'll wait on the plate.
I like your turban, by the way.
Thank you. This one, you know, this one be cutting off circulation sometimes, so I don't wear it that often. They said, Day L Reversioner said no audio on the free conference call. That's probably because you have to push the phone icon and get on. Once you get on, especially if you go through the internet, you have to push the phone button in order to hear. So you're on visually, now you have to be on audio.
Yes.
Karen, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, this is Scimitar Bay from Indiana Territory.
Damn. Hey, Scimitar, you just behave. I'm just going to put the disclaimer out there. You behave. That's all I'm saying.
No, it's real simple, sister. I just need to know how to get on the conference call, what I have to get on.
Wait a minute.
You're on it now.
I'm about to say you're on it now. Which one you want?
I want to see you. I want to see everybody.
Oh, so you on the phone. You called in.
Right.
I don't know why it's so hard for people. Let me tell y'all, I do witnessing all the time. And let me tell you, it takes something that takes 5 minutes for somebody to their damn signature has been turned into a 30-minute project because people don't know how to use these gadgets that they spend all their fiat on. How are we supposed to tell you how to do it? If you go to the link and you already have it downloaded, it's gonna automatically come up. And you're gonna need to know the access code or the number, the name. So it's Light Bay Moorish Nation. That is the login for internet people. The login for phone people is the what was it?
591071.
591071. Those are the two options. The 591071 is for people calling in on the phone, and the Light Bay Moorish Nation is for people logging in on the internet. Outside of that, I can do nothing for you.
Sharon, can you repeat that? Because usually I rely on the email, and I was searching all day for it. I just got back, and I can't find it.
If you're going on this Mac be trying to disguise his voice like we don't know who the heck is talking. We know this is you, Mac. You should already have her stuff written down in your damn notebook because you've been on 50 damn free conference call webinars.
I was upset when I couldn't.
Y'all swear we y'all damn everybody swears.
I just got
No, I don't want to hear those excuses. I don't want to hear those excuses. It is Light Bay Moorish Nation. Light Bay Moorish Nation. I'm going to have y'all singing a mantra when we're done. Light Bay Moorish Nation. That's for the online. And if you're calling in through your cell phone, it's 591071. I already got it memorized. You got it, Mac and Scimitar? Are we done with giving out the free conference call links?
Yes, we are. Okay, we're going to wrap this up in about 10 minutes.
Oh man, we're not gonna have no long conference call like we normally do, but I'm happy about that. Thank you. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah, you're welcome. We're not going to do 5 hours like we did Saturday. Okay. Are there any other questions?
Wait a minute. Anthony said nobody swears like Sharon. That was so funny. I just wanted to share that. That was funny.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Amir, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. I've got a scenario I want to bring up. There's a lot of Moors who are in the temples who have been naturalized, who want to come over and get nationalized. Their paperwork that they have, they need to do it over?
Of course they do, because it's naturalizing them into the corporate ward state.
Because I heard two Moors who came in the phone call and asked that question, but they didn't say they came from a temple and that they were naturalized. They just said, can I use my return ID? To be more specific, if you were naturalized in a temple, naturalized, you have to be nationalized in order to get a MAC number.
Yep. And in order to make a better decision on that, ask them to send you their documentation and find out. Because everybody that's at the temples, we don't know that because we have not seen any real documentation. I've seen one Moor's documentation in terms of the temple, and it was absolutely naturalization documentation.
Yes, no doubt. I think several. And so I want to make sure that distinction is made.
Say it again?
I want to make sure that distinction was made.
Well, then, if they are, yes, they need to do it, and it's encouraged that they do it.
Okay. Now, okay. Another question. I got a question from one of the scriptures in the group. He said that when he said in their little documents to Washington, D.C., they're sending supplementary documents like the Peace and Friendship and the other document. I can't remember the name of it right now.
Notice of existence?
Right. Notice of existence, and then a copy of the UCC1 financing statement. Do they have to continue to send that every time they send a document in, or is there a point to where they can only, because that becomes, they were saying that pushes into their budget.
Yeah. Let me address that, Light.
Sure.
Because here's the reality, and this is what I want Moors to do things, because it is a little bit of repetitive, right? And we also have the documents recorded on the Moorish American consulate website under their own particular document number. I suggest people on their cover letters or in the body of the UCC1 to put that reference information on there. So please download these documents, reference the document number, the website, and that's how you're putting it into the document. Light and me we go to the head on this one because I don't think because it's going to the same location, and right now they probably got at least 100 or so copies of the darn Treaty of Peace and Friendship. So I would put it exactly from one person. So where you're putting the tracking number down the bottom when you're giving them their directives, I would put additional lines in there to say see www.moorishamericanconsulate.org/public records and download these 3 documents and have it that way, whereas though you don't have to add more than the UCC affidavit of UCC filing and what other supporting documents supports the lien. But Light obviously is going to tell you to put the shit in the damn document.
Well, I like to be really thorough with making sure that even if a new person who just started working there.
Okay.
Hang on a second. We'll just listen to his conversation. Let me see if if I can mute him.
Is that the one on the screen doing that with his phone in front of his face?
Yeah.
How he be at? Why he always doing that? Mute his camera too. Cause he ain't saying nothing.
I'm trying to mute him. He don't know we talking about.
We're talking about you, Shaquem. We always hear your conversations. I mean, who was you talking to?
Right, exactly. We all in your business. Okay. So with regard to sending copy after copy after copy, we don't know who's receiving them on that end. So I like to send a fresh copy of the treaty, the notes of acceptance, and the you better mute yourself, Shaquem. Mute yourself, Shaquem, before you say hi to your girl. Okay. So I like to give them a fresh copy of that, and also we have to add our declaration to trust to what we send them. The lien with our terms, because if you'll notice, there is a space on there that says where is the collateral being held, and we always check that collateral is being held in a trust. So we will send them the declaration of trust. Okay.
Okay, so that's the added document to the UCC filing, the declaration of trust.
To the lien, yes.
Islam. And that can be downloaded, family. Don't send me no emails requesting it. It can be downloaded from the website under www.moorishamericanconsulate.org. And the record number is MACN-R with 9 9s. And it can be, and it's one of the first documents at the top on the Declaration of Trust section of the website.
What document is that, sir?
What did he say again?
That's the correct document. You already have it, okay?
Okay.
I might have to.
Okay, we have about 4 minutes. Hold on. Okay, just a minute. Okay, hold on for just a second. Okay, hold on. Let me get things quieted down for just a minute. Hold on for just 1 second. Just
muted. Unmuted.
Okay. Go ahead with your questions.
Didi, shut my refrigerator.
Question take up 4 minutes. Okay. The trading with the enemy. What is it? The act of trading with the enemy act. I got a question for that. If all the boards is following 5013C and they keep dealing with FRN, they keep working them jobs and keeping them maintaining the fraud, are those the ones that really trading with the enemy act? That's what I'm thinking.
Well, yeah, here's the thing. Yes, when we stay in the non-secure, we are actually enemy combatants in that status. Okay? Because guess what? All corporations are war instruments. That's why they call that all caps thing a war name. All corporations are war instruments. And before they were war instruments, they were regular companies. And if you know anything about the military, a company is something that works to your benefit. A corporation or war name is warring against you. That's why we can't use those. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Hang on just a second. I'm going to...
I had a question, Light.
Okay, hold on for just a minute. Let me just mute everybody first. What's the last four of your number? You're about to ask a question. Hang on. Let me just mute people. So everyone go ahead and mute yourselves so that she can ask her question. Everyone go ahead and mute yourself. Except the person who's asking the question. Brandy, is that you about to ask the question?
Yes.
Okay, hold on for just a minute.
Light, you done muted yourself.
Light.
Light, you have muted yourself.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead with your question. I can hear you.
Okay. Now, my question was because I've seen it in the chat from other people. And I'm trying to go through this process myself, obtaining. How do we go through that process when we're in our proper person? So we don't go into the trap. I know that we are the secure person.
For some reason, you're unclear.
Yeah, I
For
can't
some
hear
reason, you're
either.
unclear. Speak into the microphone that you're using so we can hear you.
Okay, can you hear me better?
That was
Can
better.
you hear me better now?
That's better. That's much better.
Okay. Now, my question is about securing a home. Now, when I saw it in the chat as well, and that was my question because I'm trying to go through that process as well. Now, when we're trying to secure a home, how do we go about that process when we are in our proper person so we don't fall into that?
You guys can't hear on the Facebook Live. Y'all can't hear?
The place that we're in right now is the transitionary period. If you and that leaves you with options, but one of the options is not great. If you decide that you're going to use fiat to buy the place, then you have to do what fiat does, and you have to cop to that corporation crap. If you're going to use Moorish science, which is what we should be doing, to acquire the property, that is how you go into that clean. And we're working on processes right now. The key to that process where you're talking about acquiring a property for yourself is notification. You have to notify. Because again, we're in that quirky place where we're moving from that nom de guerre piece and the Federal Reserve piece to using the trust and gold and silver-backed lawful currency so that we don't have to keep coming out of our pockets with that fake stuff that's causing us to be enslaved. So you can wait, you can hold off on it and learn to use more science to do it, and the trust is helping with that. I am seeing some breakthroughs where the trust, the declaration of trust is happening, because we should have been living off of the trust in the first place.
Islam.
So I would encourage you, and I'm doing the same thing, I would encourage you to learn how to use more science to do all that you plan on doing. Because when you use more science, your status is going to determine that they have no jurisdiction over what you're doing. Because see, right now, the Service Corporation is doing nothing but taking. They're taking back everything that's under a corporate status. So we have to use more science to acquire the properties that are ours. I'm doing the same thing with a building down the street that's they had it up for $65 million. But we're going to take that, and it's going to be the consulate here. So I have to continue to do my homework, and then start notifying. I've already leaned the city here so that they can't interfere. And then I'm going to, even after I've linked them, I'm still going to send them notices saying, this is what I'm doing with this building. The building has already been claimed and declared. And on this date, which will be probably 90 days from now, after I'm sure that I have proof of everything, I'm going to resend out everything again to these same people, the sheriff, the state troopers, the policy enforcers, all corporations, putting them all on notice. I'm not asking them anything. All I'm telling them is, do not violate. Because we're going to, on this date, I want the sheriff and the military to meet me out here at this building so that we can gain entry, so that we can begin using the property that's on our land. And that's what this martial law that they're talking about is all about. Because they know we're going to start doing that. We've already given them a heads up.
And to interject some information on that regards as well is realize that the Declaration of Trust, all land, hereditaments, fixtures, resources, natural and otherwise, have been reconveyed back to the people through the Moorish American National Republic Federal Government Trust. That's the number that I put in the chat. That is what all Moors have the privilege and the right to utilize, as it belongs to us all.
Yes. The land has been granted back to the people, and it wasn't really granted back. We took it back because they weren't going to give it back. But it just so happens that through doing the work, it has been, they pretty much was like, okay, sure, you can have it back. We'll just keep quiet about that. But, we have it already. And so we're now learning how to use it because, again, we don't have a point of reference for what we're doing. In other words, we've never seen the Templars do this.
Right.
Any information that is had about how we go about acquiring the property that's rightfully ours has not been, nobody said this is how you do it. So we're doing that. We're doing it. And just like I tell the Moors all the time, I'm willing to be the guinea pig for all of that so that we can get a process for it so the Moors should use it. And you all can try some things too. As long as you don't endanger yourself, notify, and then talk to one another about how this works. That's the key. The key to the success of all that we're doing, just as we're doing what we're doing right now, is that's talking to one another. Okay? About how do I do this and how do I do that. So that we all stay safe, that we are keeping up with one another on what we're doing. And we're going to give all information that we have, we're going to give it freely.
Islam, can I speak?
Sure.
Can you hear me? Okay, you can hear me.
Yeah.
My son and the noise. I wanted to say that I've been doing that for about I guess 6 years or so, getting a property, but I never knew how to secure it until now. So now what I've done is, because we just lost one, I had to put a lien on it, but I waited too long to do it. Wasn't exactly quick. But now so I found one, and I did a lien on it. And I got a locksmith. I changed the lock. I called the preservation company and told them, to cease and desist, and it's not vacant. So they said in touch with the bank and basically let them know or whatever. I'm like, okay, that's fine. And I kept telling them, I'm like, the bank does not own this property. No, I said I have, original title to this property. I didn't want to go into too much because I didn't want to go over the person, her, down some anything, about. I just did that.
Okay, have you notified the sheriffs and the policy enforcers and all of them? Because you can't just, notify. You don't want to put yourself. Have you done that?
That's my next step. That's what I'll be doing tomorrow. Today I only did those two.
Okay, are you already in the place? Are you already living in it? Occupying?
Already. And I use a locksmith. So I have a key already, and I use a locksmith. So with using a locksmith, there's no so-called breaking and entering or thing.
Okay. Now let me say that you've not done the notification process properly. Let me just say that. Because again, notify. Because by the time you move into a place like that, you need to have everybody on notice that you're there so that you don't endanger yourself. The people who whose names are on the title to that place, they should have been notified several times before you did that.
And they don't have titles. They only have deeds that are not lawful.
Right. Right.
The people who were on the deed, they were in a dispute in a long court hearing, long drawn out one, and tried to say that the bank didn't have jurisdiction to foreclose on them, and they went through.
If they're not a Moorish American national, it doesn't matter what claims they put. Your claim is priority because you're the sovereign of the land. You don't even have to care about what process they are involved in. You just put your claim in and you notify, just like she said, notify, notify, notify.
Yeah, they're caucus blades.
Exactly. So you don't even got to talk about it.
And here's the thing too. When you're doing something like that, you need to call the sheriff and have the sheriff accompany you out there because that's his job.
Yep.
And have them to see you gain entry to the place. Because
the one thing that we have to understand, and I want to add to that sheriff piece, the sheriff piece we have to understand is the only reasons why these so-called properties are going on sheriff sales is because they are complicit in the fraud as well. Because they are putting them on the public forum. So when you send your quit claim deeds or your title, you make sure that sheriff has a copy because that sheriff is going to have to put you in priority status in terms of claiming that domicile.
Yes,
and until the sheriff is not accepting any bail, that's what the problem is. They're not accepting anything. If you send them a certified letter, they're not taking it.
Who's not taking certified? Who are they?
The sheriff's office.
Did you go down there and have a meeting with them? You might have to go and talk to them and explain to them your rights, their responsibilities, and they need to assist you in because they should be giving you the keys. The sheriff. They should be giving you the keys, opening up the property, and making sure it is safe for you to go in there, and putting their people on notification that is no longer on their chessboard or on their monopoly board. They cannot use that for commerce anymore. That's the point.
Yes. Now, let me say this too. Again, we're in the transition where the authority to claim the properties and stuff is being passed off to us because we're an organized government. Okay. And when I say an organized government, all Moorish Americans are part and parcel of the government. You do not want to do something like that without some backup. Okay?
Trying to tell you, living like that for 6 years, and I've always done it. And I know that what happens is if anybody comes out what they tell them, they'll be like, it's a civil matter. They can't, get into, determining who's right and who's wrong as long as the person has a key.
Who says that?
That's what
possession is 9/10 of the law. But again, you don't want policy enforcers and everybody out there. So you want to notify before you do anything like that. And then the sheriff is supposed to accompany you out there. Now, we're in the process now because we're waking up in massive numbers right now. And the only way that we're going to be able to remain safe when we do things like that is to move as a unit.
Yep.
The problem has been in the past that Moors have been doing things individually. We have to do systemic changes.
Vivian, you don't be quiet.
When Moors do demonstrations like that they're not violent. We have to use a systemic situation. Do they have, is the property, has it been placed in trust?
No. It's just claiming, are you talking about as far as placing it in trust?
Let me speak to this. Moors, we have to tie our camels when we're acting in our national capacity. When I say tying our camels, we need to make sure our nationality has been declared and proclaimed. We need to send it to the 7 locations. We need to have our identification cards. We need to record it as many places as we need to. Send it to a sheriff. Let the sheriff know a Moor is declared in around their territory, as well as getting your private allodial family trust established. This is basic because you're going to convey everything into that trust. So they can't hypothecate it back.
Yes. Now, let me say this. When we do things competently, they will yield, period. I'm just telling you that from personal experience. And from what you're seeing now. The changes that you're seeing and the things that you see going on where the service corporation is concerned and these policy enforcers are concerned, they will yield when we're competent. And let me tell you what I would have, because I'm going to do this research and actually this demonstration very soon with the building down the street. A copy of the Declaration of Trust of the Moorish National Republic Federal Government, a copy of my own personal trust with that same building in my own personal trust, so that's going to put the address of that building in trust. I'm going to have original title stamped and sealed and signed for that building. I'm going to have the Moorish American Consulate Notice of Existence. I'm going to have my nationality documents, my paperwork that says I am who I say I am. And then I'm going to send those documents along with that certified copy of the treaty. And I'm also going to lien that building one last time. And all of those documents right there, I'm going to send those documents out to the policy enforcers who I've liened already, and their building is for sale. I should take that one too, but I don't want it. The policy enforcers, the sheriff, the mayor of the city here, the Secretary of State, the Provost Marshal, the Secretary of State, which used to be Mike Pompeo, but I don't think they have anybody there now. But their office is going to get a copy. Donald Trump is going to get a copy of that paperwork saying this building right here, and then all names on the title or the deed of the building, because they don't have title. All of the names on the deed of that building, they're going to be notified, and not only am I going to mail this stuff, I'm actually going to pick up the phone and hunt them down and tell them that I've declared that the building belongs to the Moor because it's on our land, and it's been placed in trust, and I need them to deliver the keys to it. Keys and any code opening. And I'll tell them that on this date, which will be 60 days, because these people live in China somewhere or something like that, in 60 days, or in 30 days, I plan on taking possession of the building's physical possession, and I need them to make sure that
Trayvon, if y'all don't be quiet,
the sheriff will be there, and I've arranged for whoever else needs to be there, including other Moors. Okay? That's the proper way to do it.
But I also want to interject to let the Moors know they're not supposed to be denying you because you may have missed a step, you may have missed a word, you may have forgot to say a particular thing to a particular person. They're being belligerent, and they're like looking at the so-called directions, right? But when it comes to them, they're violating all of the code statutes that they even have. I was like, so don't think that you have to be perfect as a Moor in order to get your stuff back. Because there's no such thing as a perfect Moor. But there is a such thing as you proclaim it and declare your Moorish nationality and standing on those fundamental laws and holding them accountable for that. And just like Light said, everything she said was right and exact. But don't think that it's impossible for you to do all of that. Because it is very simple.
When we do things competently, they cannot tell us no. We're seeing that left and right. The lien process, it's done properly, therefore we're seeing the results of it. Certain processes, nationality, going into those venues when we're forced into them is proper. Not going into those venues when we're not supposed to be in there is proper. If it's done properly, they will not molest. That's what we're seeing all across the land, all across the board. So with what I just told you, the more of us that present that stack of paper to them, they can't argue with it. They can't argue with it.
Islam, I'm going to do that here in 10 minutes.
Yes. And I'm going to be putting all of that out on Facebook, copies of the paperwork that I send and all of that. All of that stuff is going on Facebook and social media. And then I'll do classes on it so that you all can see how that turns out. And if I'm denied in any way, I'm going to tell you this is what I think they use to deny, because they'll deny you something, and they'll say one thing, but they'll see that you missed a little something over here. But when you don't miss anything, they have to yield, and they know they do. And here's the thing. They already know that it's time for them to yield, because no one's playing with them at this point. That's the only reason why you see them folding like they're folding where the service corporation is concerned, because they know it's time to go. And they want to give us the stuff. I'm not going to lie about that. They want to give it because they know it's not theirs. They're tired of looking at it. They're tired of holding it and knowing they can't use it. So all we have to do is be competent, and then when we get a process that works, all of us use that process. And when they see that much paperwork coming at them, they're not going to say no, and they're not going to be sending policy enforcers either. You see. So that's the purpose of being competent and thorough. Competent and thorough is the key. All right? Are there any other questions?
Yeah, like I've never encountered any policy enforcers at all coming to me. So that never happened.
That's good. I would encourage you, all of those things that I just listed, I would encourage you to go ahead and do them still though. Even though you're already in there and you've changed a lot from stuff, still do those things and notify those people. Because it's just a competent thing to do. That's just my suggestion. That's just my suggestion. Are there any other questions?
I have one last question, please.
Mm-hmm.
It's regarding I have opened my trust and I have recently applied for an EIN number. You said tonight that we should revoke it. Should we revoke it or should we put a lien against it and put it in our trust?
You can do either one of those. Here's the problem with the EIN numbers and things like that. They are connected to the IRS, and we don't have anything to do with the IRS. And that's because that's not for us. The Inquisition Revenue Service, we don't have anything to do with them. Even our not tax number is not filed with them. It's filed with the State Department. Because we are not to be in any, that AA 222141, that is a State Department not tax number, which means that if they're not honoring it, that the military is supposed to come in, because they're under the State Department. Military is supposed to come in if they don't honor our. But we had to have 500 signatures to even be recognized as a viable government. We have way more than that.
Oh, okay.
And so, as we're moving as a unit, we stay away from things like the IRS. Anything that has to do with Social Security numbers, EIN, TIN, W-8 bin, all of that. That's not our stuff. That's not our stuff. Anything that was legislated is not ours. Because we were here before legislation was set up, before the Service Corporation did any legislation. So we should be operating in the purity that our ancestors operated in. And we put aside everything that's not true. Okay. And if any of their numbers or their identification or their driver's license or their birth certificate or if any of that stuff is attached to it, then we leave it. We leave it. And we do our own.
Okay, thanks.
Okay? You're welcome.
So, Empress,
yes.
To go along with what she just said, so if we have a trust established already, but we have it with the TIN, we have to get rid of that trust altogether or just revoke the number?
I would revoke the number. I would revoke the number if you don't want to create a new trust. It is even one Federal Reserve note or one form that belongs to the Service Corporation has gone through your trust is compromised. EIN numbers, TIN numbers, W-8 bin numbers, those numbers taint your trust because those are commercial documents that tie you back to a citizen status. So we don't want that. So rescind them or just create a new trust. We can create 30 trusts in a day, 50 trusts in a day, 100 trusts in a day. We're that powerful. Just create a new one. That one's spoiled. Okay. Create a new one.
So but just to keep it from being used, just don't use it and rescind.
Just create one that's exactly like it, and then rescind that one. Create one that's exactly like it, and give it a new name, and then rescind it to the other one. That's all you have to do. But but you don't want Federal Reserve notes going through your trust.
Yes, I am getting sleepy.
Okay, so that would be like couldn't be have an employment attached to it. So it just has to be property from the home and your conveyance and your family.
Yes. In de jure status. You're in de jure status when you do all of that. Okay.
Islam. What's the time? Are we wrapping up, Leon Light?
Yeah, we are wrapping up right now. So we'll do another question and answer session sometime in the future. I would like to do another one this coming Saturday. However, I know that some of our Moors are. I know Sharon. I know you're busy Saturday. That's your day. But if anyone, we'll plan another one sometime soon, and so that Sharon can be a part of it too, because I heard Islam. Islam.
Yes. Could you put other people's conveyance on in your trust as well?
If they're a citizen, you can.
Yeah, they are.
Yep. If they're a citizen, you can put them and their conveyances. I could have put Bill Gates in my trust as property. I'm just saying. And I would do that in a heartbeat, but I don't have to because I leaned him. So
sure.
It's all good.
Okay. But these are people you're protecting, though.
Huh?
These are people you're protecting. You're not protecting.
Yes, you can. But, yes. Yes. We don't need to protect him. Yeah. Put them in there. Because the protection comes where you can tell them what to do with it, or to keep their hands off of it. Because we tight like that. We got it like that. See, that bloodline ain't no joke. You see? Yes, that.
I hope you know you on Facebook Live, Light, so you better watch yourself.
Oh, no. They better watch themselves. I got Watch it. Because I will put you in my trust, okay, and lean you. Don't play with me.
I know that's right. Speak before we close, because y'all trying to go till 9 o'clock, and I ain't trying to be on here until 9 o'clock. Speak about the young. Go ahead.
About the what?
Speak about the individual that we all been seeing on social media in regards to the news outlets. What was his appellation? The Moor and the property.
Oh,
speak on that.
One in Atlanta?
Yeah, I think it was Atlanta. Was it Gracious?
It was in Gwinnett County, Georgia. There was one of the Moors who was going to claim a property. And listen, he had every right to claim it.
Islam.
But they posted his photo on the news as if he was some sovereign citizen and all that. And of course, we spoke for him because they're not going. I don't care if he was incompetent; it's none of their business, and they're squatting on our land anyway. So we're going to still speak up for all of our Moors anyway, because they're not going to sit up. That's it right there. They're not going to sit up and make it seem like just because he's competent, you're going to make a spectacle of him. We have the address of the Albion who called himself speaking to the news.
What's his name? What's his name?
John Campbell.
Thank you. Put it on the platform, social platform, since they want to sit here and
605 Settles Brook Court. Yes, we coming for your property because that's ours. So anyway, the brother can do whatever.
Shakeem, you on Facebook Live too, so you better watch your little facial expressions as well.
It is what it is. It is what it is. We tired of the foolishness.
I know that's right.
And I'm a movie star. We're used to it.
Islam family.
Islam. So anyway, there you go.
Yeah, we be on your Facebook profile page. We be knowing what you be doing. We saw how you be flexing. Yeah, we know. Lovely Meef Stanford said, "I see you," and she laughed.
That's my sister. What's up, sis?
Yeah, everybody's on here that couldn't get on free conference call.
Okay, cool beans. We'll do it again sometime soon. We'll announce it on social media and get email and stuff.
And we'll get Light to do it on Facebook Live, and we'll do a duo on Facebook Live. Because I've been trying to get her, y'all, forever, and this is the closest I've been able to do it, actually put her on my Facebook Live.
Well, yes, we'll do that. So, anyway, Moor, Islam, peace and love. Let's keep it going. We're the most powerful people on the planet. We know this. Let me throw you a little bit of our language. Amendico Vovis, Cuecumque, Algavaritis, Tupaterum, Erugata, Puelo, Cuecumque, Solvoritis, Tupaterum, Erutoluto, Puelo. And that means whatever we say on earth is the truth in heaven. And whatever we say in heaven is the truth on earth.
Islam. Islam. Ashe, I say. So mote it be. Islam. Pax that to more.
This session is no longer being recorded.
Am I upside down? How the hell am I upside down? For real? Oh, see, they want to play games with me. Are you serious, Facebook? How you can't rotate your phone while on a live? Hold on. They trying to play me. Am I upside down? I'm upside down. This is some bull crap.
Again, we're gonna do this again. Let's do this again. Again, this is King Moor Hadid of New Mind Theocratic Kingdom. And she just sent me a voicemail. So I'm in the room now, sis. So come on in. So we waiting on the sister giving me an interview, and we figured we'll try it on my end. So send me the invite, sis, if you see it.